Hey everyone, it's Andre here. So what I want to do right now is I want to run through goal setting with you. We did have a workshop last week on how to set goals, and thank you for everyone who did come. Some of you couldn't make it along to the workshop, so what I've done is I put together this little video for you, and hopefully by the end of this video you'll have a good idea of how to set up your goals so that you can make sure that when you are coming into any aspect of your life, so setting up goals for fitness, weight loss, increased strength, spiritual development, jobs, relationship, any aspect of your life, follow this sort of system so that you can lay down the plans to achieving those goals, which will ensure that you are more likely to achieve those goals than if you didn't plan. If you're just kind of wishy-washy and just meandering along towards some sort of a holy grail, it's a lot more likely if you map out a roadmap to that holy grail that you will reach it. Cool? So just getting straight into it, most of you have already heard of SMART goals. SMART goals is a system that's always drilled into you from a very young age. When you do set up your SMART goals, SMART is basically an acronym for S being specific, so be specific with your goals. M being measurable, so make sure that your goals are something where you can measure. A being achievable, so make sure that kind of ties in with R as well. Make sure that your goals are something that are actually achievable, something that isn't out of the realm of possibility. For example, dropping 30 kilos in 2 days or something like that. Unless you're giving birth or losing a limb or something like that, then it's very unlikely that that's going to work out for you in the healthiest way possible. So you want to keep it realistic or achievable as possible, and also tying in a time, keeping it timely, tying in a timeline with that as well, so that when you do set out your goals, you want to have an idea of how long it's going to take you to achieve this goal, then break it down into smaller pieces. That's your SMART method. I don't particularly like the achievable and realistic side of things, because I think if people are too critical on themselves, which a lot of us are, they will not shoot high enough with their goals and sell themselves short at the end of the day. So my method of setting things up is using this, so B.E.A.S.T goals. So basically, this is how I personally set up my goals whenever I am trying to achieve something in particular, whether it be health, fitness, or business-wise. Then start off with B. So always when you are writing out your goals, you want to outline the benefits. The benefits are what are going to drive you to achieving those goals. Without the benefits of achieving any particular goal, then the goal, there's no point. Okay, so anytime you set out goals, then always emphasize the benefits and how it's going to benefit your life. If it doesn't benefit your life, then don't. There's no point in setting up a goal that's going to be harmful to your life, okay? So, benefits. Energy, for E is for energy. So energy just basically means, do you have the capability of inputting the amount of energy necessary to achieve your goal? Let's say, for example, you're a single mother of 5 kids, you've got school pickups, drop-offs, sports, extracurricular activities, you've got tutoring, all these sort of things, lunches, dinners, breakfasts that you as a single parent have to organize. Do you have the energy to input into your diet, your nutrition programming, your exercise programming? Do you have enough energy to input into that side of your life so that you can become, let's say for example, a competitive bodybuilder on stage? If you don't, then probably setting up a goal where you're going to be in a year's time competing in a bodybuilding competition on stage may not be ideal for you. So you really want to think about whether your goal is something that you have the capability of putting enough or inputting enough energy into to really achieve the goal. A is for aim high. So where the SMART goal is set achievable, I want you to aim as high as you possibly can. So obviously being stupid and setting something up like what I mentioned before, 30 kilos in 2 days, is a bit silly. But you want to aim high, let's say for example 10 kilos in 12 weeks. Okay, a lot of people will think that's too much, or that's aiming too high, or that's not possible to do. Every diet that I've ever tried before, every program that I tried before, every trainer that I've tried before, I haven't lost that much weight. So let's just shoot low and just say 1 kilo in the next 12 weeks, okay? So what I want you to do is get rid of that and aim high. If you want to achieve a 10 kilo loss in the end of 12 weeks, then that could be your goal. However, I don't like people setting up goals where they shoot for a kilogram loss, because obviously we all know that the scales can be very deceptive. Also, when it comes to setting up goals following body fat caliper or your body fat percentage, depending on what method you're using, that can also be a little bit deceptive as well. Especially if you're using a Tanita scales or something like that. From experience, they can be fairly inaccurate. And also when it comes to measuring body fat percentage, if you're not with a trainer or a practitioner who is fairly skilled doing this constantly day in, day out, and also seeing the exact same practitioner, then your numbers can also change a little bit as well. So to keep it simple and simplify things, going on to the next part, being specific with your goals, what I like to do is get people to, let's say for example, that this summer you want to fit into a bikini. In your mind, you know that to get into that bikini that you want to wear, you do need to lose about 5 or 10 kilos. However, instead of setting up a goal where you tell yourself that you need to lose 5 kilos, from experience, I'll just kind of sidetrack a little bit. From experience, whenever someone sets up a goal where they say they want to lose 5 kilos, they'll lose that 5 kilos, and then all of a sudden, they'll say, okay, 5 kilos wasn't what I thought it was, let's go for another 5 kilos, let's keep going, and then it's a never-ending cycle. Eventually it's like a cat trying to chase its own, or a dog trying to chase its own tail. So what you want to do is you want to set up a goal that's very specific. So what I always tell people to do is to go out, let's say, like going back to the original example, let's say that you do want to fit into a bikini at summertime and be on the beach in that particular bikini, then go out shopping and buy that bikini that you want to wear during summertime. Even if it is 2 sizes smaller than what you want at the moment, then go out there. As long as you kind of have that there and you have an idea of what you need to aim for, then let's say your goal is for, this is leading onto T, but let's say if your goal is for 12 weeks, okay? In 12 weeks time, you've got to fit into this bikini, so you've got to be 2 sizes smaller, you've got to look good in that bikini. So what you can do is, where you're at the moment, let's say you're a size 14, and your end goal is to be in a size 10 bikini. Now, I'm not too sure if bikinis come in size 10, 14, 12s, I'm not sure how that works. But for example, size 14, size 10, then break that up, okay? So that means if all things go to plan, by the time you get to week 6, you should be fitting into a size 12, if you're going from 14, 12 to 10. So, moving on to the next part is the timeline. So you want to set up the timeline for your goal, which is specific now, tied in with a specific outcome, which is fitting into that particular bikini, tied in with that timeline, okay? So then you have an idea of what you need to do along the way to achieve that goal, okay? So 12 weeks, you can divide 12s into 4, so every 3 weeks, 4 lots of 3 weeks, every 3 weeks you can reassess, remeasure, and reevaluate where you're at in terms of your diet and nutrition program, and then you can make adjustments from there, okay? So the worst thing possible is to go through all the work of setting up a 12-week goal and forget to check in with yourself every now and again, and you come to week 11 and you find out, oh crap, the program wasn't working. I have to make adjustments now, but I'm not going to meet my goal now because I haven't checked in with myself earlier, or haven't bothered to check in with myself earlier to see if the program that I'm on or the program that my trainer has given me is working. So you want to keep checking in whatever increments every couple of weeks to see if you're heading in the right direction. Cool. Okay, so hopefully you understand the B.E.A.S.T method now. So just an example. So just an example of a goal laid out according to the B.E.A.S.T method is as follows. So I will, not I may, or I might, or I want to, or I wish, or I hope, I will fit into my new size 10, being specific, so that bikini, that size 10 bikini, I will fit into my new size 10 bikini because as I said earlier, you would go out and buy this bikini that you want to fit into. New size 10 2-piece bikini, by December 15th. So remember, setting up a timeline, set up that goal and the end time that you want to fit into that, 2013. So be specific with your goal. You don't have it so that you set this out and you end up fitting into it in 2014. So you set it up so this year is 2013, set it up so that you will fit into it this year in 2013. I will feel, so you want to emphasize the benefits and how you will feel, how you will look, how you will be a different person by the end of your 12-week period or however long you want it to be. Feel confident, comfortable, and sexy. So outlining the benefits, really emphasize the benefits of your goal and how it's going to change your life as much as possible. I will reevaluate my goals every 3 weeks and lose, so remember being specific again, outlining exactly how you're going to meet your end goal. So for this person to meet their end goal, then they're going to have to, they worked out, they calculated, or I calculated for them, that they need to lose 0.5 centimetre off their waist each week over the 12-week period. 12 divided by half, or 0.5 centimetres equals 6 centimetres around the waist in total. And that's what the end goal, or that's how the end goal will get them fitting into their new size 10 bikini. So hopefully you've got an idea now of how to set this up. What I always suggest is write this out properly, do a couple drafts, make it perfectly, make it so that, or write it out in a language that you yourself would use. Don't write it out in all sort of fancy words, using fancy words. But basically write it out in a language that you would normally use. Write it out nicely. You can decorate the piece of paper that you write it on. Stick it on your bathroom mirror, because that way you'll see it at least twice a day when you brush your teeth in the morning and brush your teeth at night time. Read it while you're brushing your teeth. Repeat it to yourself constantly. Always, every time you look at it, you remind yourself that you need to repeat it. And then over time, what will happen is that your goal will become part of the subconscious, and even without having to think about it, you will make decisions in your everyday life where you don't have to tell yourself not to eat that cake, muffin, or cupcake. You'll constantly, your brain will always be remembering that you need to aim for this goal by December 15th, and you'll make decisions according to that subconsciously. You won't even realize that you're doing them a lot of the time, and everything that you do will revolve around achieving your goal. Okay, so like I said earlier, you can do this for any aspect of your life. You can do this for your business, you can do this for relationships, you can do this for diet, nutrition, lifestyle, strength gains, anything like that. Set it out, make it specific, outline the benefits, set up a timeline, and also keep in mind whether you have the energy to achieve this goal and whether you have enough energy to input into achieving the end result that you're aiming for.